Hey folks, just another quick video from Steve Adventure. It's another beautiful day out here in the bush. We're just getting some mileage under the tires on the crossbike and figured it might be a good opportunity to answer some of those EDC questions that we were PM'd from the previous video. I guess we can just jump right into it. So what am I currently carrying in my pockets? So we'll do a pocket dump, I guess. There'd be lots of other things that one might carry as their everyday carry when it comes to cycling, and that would be in a pack, perhaps. We may or may not get into that at a later date. So what's in a person's pockets? Well, there'd be the inconsequential stuff. These days, you might see a couple of pairs of gloves, or in this case, a pair of gloves. Gloves are pretty easy. They can be difficult to dispose of. Set that right there. Gloves, the one thing that I would say is that most people I see are not using them correctly, insofar as they don't know to pinch the wrists and then pull together so that they are not exposing themselves. They're taking the one glove off and then they're grabbing the other one. You're more likely to self-contaminate. The rule that I like to use, since we know through sociology and psychology that human beings are likely to touch their face inadvertently and without thinking about it at least 20 times an hour, I go with the one blue hand, because if it's blue, it's not for you. So this hand touches anything that's sanitized. You can touch your door handles, you can touch your car keys and your wallet. If you're picking stuff off the shelf or you're worried about doorknobs, if it's blue, it's not for you. And that makes it really easy to remember not to touch your face with something you've just gotten contaminated, because the hand that's still skin and feels nice to, wipe away your tears from all of your self-isolation, or to fix your beard, or whatever you need to do that's you, it's real safe. Of course, where COVID really isn't any more dangerous than the common flu, according to the actual numbers. I'll digress. Maybe we shouldn't have talked about that. I guess we'll see in the comments. Something else I like to carry is a little bit of beard balm / beard wax / cuticle moisturizer, and that's something I'd just make myself. Repurposed tin. Otherwise than that, I carry the Moncton Flight College Challenge coin, for no other reason than it's fun to play around with, fidget with. It's cool, it's kind of exclusive, there weren't a lot of them made. And it was a gift from the flight college where we instruct, so that was pretty cool. The other thing I usually carry is my survival modded Zippo lighter. I'm currently testing a handmade Italian leather Zippo sheath from Fisher Custom Leather. He's an absolute genius, by the way. You should really check him out, Fisher Custom Leather. The theory is that by sealing up the opening, that the fuel will last longer. And if you're at all curious about how to make your Zippo way more effective, much more pocketable, and more survival minded, there's a video in our group for that already. And as you can see, Eric does spectacular work. It's really beautiful. It's all wet molded, and it actually snaps into place with the hinge bump. Actually pops into place. It's really nicely done. What other things do we carry in our pockets on a daily basis? Well, got my cold steel Recon micro Recon 1 with their little lanyard so it doesn't disappear in your pocket. Makes it easier to get a hold of and pull it out. And of course we don't need the button because they just open so nicely. But that's just a great piece of steel. Not too intimidating. One might also be carrying something a little bit more substantial. The Tanto Voyager. This was formerly my large EDC, but then I was gifted by my son something that was, for me, all but a grail, which of course is the Cold Steel Recon 1 in the S35 VN, also in the Tanto Point. We always get questions from the keyboard cowboys about whether or not we actually use our stuff. Well, you can use something and still have it look nice. And if you're not batoning your knife, which with a hollow ground knife is questionable, batoning a folding knife is questionable. There's lots of other great tools for that, and I'm blessed to actually have those kinds of tools. So why would I tear up a perfectly good knife just for that? The other thing, of course, is you're very likely to want to have a tool that you're going to use very readily, and then a secondary just in case. It can take a lot of time to find a rock in the bush or to sharpen a knife in the bush. So if 1 is none and 2 is 1, then 3, well, that's just a beautiful thing all day long. Right, Nick? What else have we got? EDC. Sometimes people think about their belt for something to hold their pants up, and other times we might think about the fact that it could be a tool. So this is the Bison tools belt buckle. So I've got a measuring device, both in metric and imperial. As long as you're measuring small things, you're never going to measure a fish with that. I mean, well, you might, but eventually it's going to get big. A couple of wrenches. You may laugh, but I've actually used the wrenches on more than one occasion, working on the camper. We were traveling along, and of course digging out the toolbox would take forever. I just needed something to get a hold of that head and give it a little twist to tighten things up. Belt buckle worked. Phillips screwdriver, bottle opener, pry bars, and flat. It's actually a pretty great thing. And of course, Fisher custom leather. This belt came with nylon webbing, which really has no secondary uses other than holding your pants up. So Fisher custom leather again came through and made an obscenely long belt. No, that's not a magician's trick. It really is that long. And why? Well, I wanted something that would make a really nice strop for putting the edge back on my knife out in the woods. And of course, if your belt is just long enough, then you can't do much else with it. But if it's extra long, it's just going to wrap around your body anyway. You're not even going to notice you're carrying it. But it could be handy for a variety of things. And I'm sure you can think of what those might be. So that's just a quick pocket dump. Do I have other things with me? Yes, but they're not part of my everyday carry, so we won't bother with those. But while we're out here in big knife country, we do carry a big knife. We've got a variety of tools to keep the bicycle going, hydration, and a little bit of extra snacks just to keep the engine going. And I hope that this video will have been valuable. Well, in every way, we've got to get on with our day. So I hope that you all will have a good one and stay sharp. I guess the remote's not going to work for that one. So, one take wonder strikes again. Stay sharp, guys.